Hello folks, hope you're doing well. Right, that situation earlier in church where the young lady of around 70ish came over and spoke to me. Yeah. No, it was good because I was struggling a bit with regards to having faith for the situations. Well, because it's been a long time now. It has been a long time. And yeah. Well, I mean, with regards to the dog situation, it all comes back to March. It all comes back to that point where, yeah, from the point of time when the dogs were taken, even before then, yeah, I had again spoken to Father, because that's the point. If an accusation is made, you have to go to God. Is this true? Right? That's the point you're going to go to every time. Is this true? Is there truth in what's being said? So as I say, when anyone speaks to you, when anyone brings anything to you at all, is it true? That's the first point. Is it true? And so with any accusation, is it true? And straight away Father was saying no. Now I know that the answer was no, because I went to God so many times. Well, because obviously my dogs were taken away, and it's like, well, if they weren't, if I'm not guilty, why would God allow them to be taken away? So for a long time, I was asking God about it. Yeah, certainly until I went up to LL, and then I got that, and then I went to the church, and the second week I went to the church, that's when, you know, the woman I wrote about all those years ago come and stood next to me. Yeah. And I started seeing God's hand after that in it. Well, I started seeing God's hand before that, because obviously, you know, that point about love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and love your neighbour as yourself. These are two things I couldn't do. So then asking Father, who are you and who am I, were, as I say, so much the keys to opening up everything for me. All the questions I'd had over the years, the answers just started coming in. Yeah. But I spent so long asking Father about that. Because it mattered, because, you know, at the time of pleading, that wasn't happening yet. I didn't know when that was going to happen. I thought it might be years. But I was fully believing early on that the dogs would be brought back, and I'd be paid a shed load of compensation because, you know, they took the dogs away, and they should have done. And then we got a date of the court appearance in March. So it's like, right, okay. And again, God was saying, you're not guilty. But again, around that time, even though I knew already that I wasn't guilty, I kept on going to God to make sure, because if I'm going in front of this, you know, the system, it's like, okay, if I'm guilty, I just need to say I'm guilty and deal with it, because take responsibility. Yeah, and just pray to God that God will make sure that things work out in a way that's good. Simple as that. But again, God was saying, no, you're not guilty. You're innocent of the charges. Well, especially when I saw the charges. Basically, the charges are saying, I've said before, that I was guilty of causing suffering. Well, I knew that wasn't the case. But then the charges also said that you should have known that what you did could cause suffering. Well, actually, what they accused me of doing, I didn't do. So therefore, no. And secondly, when you're doing something, you're not thinking what could happen. You're just doing it. So therefore, that was a load of crap. And any lawyer should be able to deal with that. Fairly simple. That was my understanding. Then I went to court. And on the day I went to court, you're supposed to be in there at 10 o'clock. And just as I was about to step into the courtroom, Father said, things are not going to go the way you thought they would today. Sorry. And I'd just taken a step in. It was 10 o'clock. If you're not in there at 10 o'clock, they can arrest you for that. So it's like, oh, really, Father? Are you kidding me? Right now when I've got to be in here. And every single time that there's been a court appearance, I believe that it would end that day, and it hasn't. It's just gone on, it's gone on, it's gone on, it's gone on, it's gone on. And for this one, I've done everything. I've done the social worker report, I've done the psychiatric thing, which was stupid. I had to go all the way to Aberdeen just to sit for about 20 minutes with this bloke. Pointless. And then do the dog training thing, which again, that was only because in case of my solicitor. Well, again, no, because if God wanted that to happen, it's because of God. Yeah. So I've got to let my solicitor offer that, I suppose, to a certain degree. Yeah. But, as I say, today, just a few days before I go back to court, God has spoken to this woman about me, about my past, and about James. Well, not mentioning James, just mentioned the son. And told her to come and tell me that he had put me on her heart and wanted me to pray, wanted her to pray for me. Yeah. That is interesting. Very interesting. Because that didn't happen for no reason whatsoever. No way, shape or form. And so actually the other day I mentioned about control. I mentioned about giving control completely to God. And when I was speaking to God about that the other day, God said to me, you don't need to do that. And I was like, yeah, but, I need you to lead me. I need you to lead me completely. I need to know that when I need you to lead me, that I can be led. And God sort of says, well, but I am leading you already. Yeah, maybe. I don't sense it, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I suppose that's because I don't always ask. When I ask, I seem to be led. But yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah. It's going to be interesting, I think. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a very interesting situation on Thursday. Exactly what's going to happen, I don't know. But, yeah. It's going to be good, I think. I think it's quite likely I will have to go back again on one more occasion. But I think pretty much the decision will be made on Thursday. But I've got a feeling that, there will be an element of the decision where the sheriff needs to look into it a bit more, or consider it in a bit more detail before she makes a final decision. And so, it's quite likely that I will go back again, but not too much later. So, that's what I think probably will happen. So, time will tell. But let's say it is. Well, if God did speak to this lady about me and gave her some information about me and told her to come over and speak to me about that, so I knew that he had put me on her heart, that he wanted her to pray for me, there has to be a reason for that. There has to be a reason. Well, put it this way. Normally after service, when they do the tea and coffee, I go and do the washing up. Today there was already two of them behind, dealing with the tea and coffee and cleaning up. And I was told, no, you go and wander amongst the people, go and talk to them. And it didn't go too bad, actually. Yeah. So that was surprising. Yeah. So there you go. Right, I'm going to leave you to it. Well, there's nothing more to say. That's about it, really. I mean, to share that and that and that. Yeah. I think that really is about it now. I watched the football. That was really disappointing. Again, I'd say Fred was terrible. Sancho was terrible for United. I think Sancho will probably be sold quite soon back to Dortmund. Probably. Yeah. Like Shinji Kagawa. He came over, it didn't work, he was sold back. I think that could happen with Sancho as well. Anyway, there you go. You take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Have a fantastic week. God bless. Bye bye.